when Vos says that Scripture is not a school but a covenant, he does. He's not saying that Scripture doesn't teach or that Scripture there's not intellectual aspects, but he's saying unless you understand this is the greater, and it includes the lesser, you're not going to really proclaim as you should. If you start with the lesser, you'll never get to the greater. And so that's the one thing. I don't want anyone to think that he doesn't believe that we're being taught. He very much so believes so, but he says, he's basically saying, understands the covenant, and that's all inclusive. But the second thing is, in regard to the personal aspect, I want you, to think in terms of the nature or the relationship of the two sermons in Grace and Glory that come back to back, in that seeking and saving the lost and Rabboni, which follows in John chapter 20. And there seems to be a deliberateness to what Jesus is doing here, in that if one is dealing with this sinner who Jesus enters the house of to save before his dark night, think of the other as in the morn of resurrection, the dawn of new creation, the greatest event. What does Jesus do? He appears to a weeping believer in the garden to comfort her.
Yeah.
And so Vos is talking, it seems as if Vos never lose sight of the fact that this is a personal salvation by the only one who can bring salvation. That Zacchaeus apart from Jesus would be lost, that Mary apart from Jesus would be lost. And so while I was on a hospital bed listening to sermons, I heard Lane preach a sermon on Luke chapter 4, and I was taken by the fact that Lane saw this as moving towards the thief on the cross, another individual that you would think that Jesus at this moment would his focus might be other places, but here, even then, his concern is seeking and saving the lost and extending that personal note of salvation even to the thief on the cross.
Yeah.